it brings us to constitution review, which, all of these suggestions, once upon a time that was the case, but now we just realize that everything has been turned. And one other issue they talked about, I'll try and pick that out, is this Mr. Luke Chukwudi, who spoke on behalf of the SANS on that day, said they should try and repeal the Public Officers Protection Act of 2004, which shields public officers from being answerable to some of their actions. Now, if we were to look at this other one, why is it that no one is also talking about what you just highlighted, so that we know that the process so far is not that tortuous and long, but abrupt, should I say short and straight to the point?
Well, I'm sure what I'm saying or what I've just said, I don't think I'm the first person to say it. It's just that, our constitution reform or amendment process gets bogged down by politics. So that you see that the legislature really do not go into technical issues. They go for the political ones, tenure extension, immunity for legislators, more or less selfish agendas. The amendment really, if you look at it, has not been designed to promote good governance. It's more designed towards self-promotion, i.e., should legislators also have immunity? Should we remove immunity of governors? And all those kind of things. And then you see the waters now get muddied by all that. And the good work that should come in when we're amending the Constitution is lost in the process. So that is why it's been difficult. In other societies, what you have is that you have NGOs and lobby groups. You would have perhaps a lobby group who is interested in curbing delays in the administration of justice system, who would lobby legislators that, look, we need a law that will bar parties taking preliminary objections or using it to stall a case and taking it all the way to the Supreme Court.
What would you consider, say, the greatest challenge, to reforms in the judiciary?
Well, that's a tough one. I do not rank any of the problems above anyone, because they are all important. If you say it's the courts or the judiciary, if you resolve the issue with the judiciary, then you have the lawyers. If you say it's the lawyers, you resolve the issue with the lawyers, then you have the prosecution, you have the prisons. So I think it must be holistic. We must see each and every one as capable of derailing the entire system. And so they must all be tackled at the same time with the same vigor.
Do you think that judiciary should be criticized in public? A host of people feel that if you criticize judiciary in public, people continue to lose confidence in them, and it's not a very good picture for not just our democracy but for our justice system.
There are two types of criticism. There is the negative criticism, which is done just to malign the personnel of judges. I don't subscribe to that. But the criticism which seeks to critique a judgment in terms of the quality and in terms of the position of law that the judges take, I think is necessary for the growth of the law. Because look, judges are not infallible. They are judges, yes they are, but they sometimes make mistakes. That is why at the High Court level you can go to the Court of Appeal. At the Court of Appeal level you can go to the Supreme Court. In fact, in academic scholars, it is the norm to critique judgments of the court, and those so that when a court is faced with that issue again, it can take that criticism on board.
But that would be within the confines of, of, say, a certain group of people who possibly share a certain interest, not in public, Would you say that
Well,
it's okay to do that?
with the advent of the modern age, social media technology, what you would now call public, has been expanded. So I can do an article for, let's say, a group, and publish it and put it online. It goes viral. It's all over the world. Everybody sees it. So I think once the criticism is just aimed at showing that the decision ought to have been made on a different basis, or tries to fault the reasoning behind the decision, I think that is okay.
Let's also
without impugning the integrity or the personality or character of the people who deliver the judgment.
Independence of the judiciary is another key issue which must talk about now as we talk about all of this justice delivery issue, or the independence of judiciary is very key. She alluded to the fact that the judiciary, especially those in the states, are being starved of funds, and people wonder, if you expect funding from the states or from the government, how independent can you be when it's time for you to do your job?
Yeah, that's why, although the Constitution says the judiciary is supposed to be an independent arm of government, in practice, especially at the state level, that independence falters, because the state governments, they hold the purse. And sometimes you see judges, chief judges of states, running after governors in order to have their programs funded, in order to have courtrooms repaired, in order to have judges, allocated decent homes and what have you, infrastructure, in order to ensure that the judiciary has the basic infrastructure. So they run after the judges. They run after the governors. They become almost part and parcel of the executive, which is not the proper thing. The relationship between the chief judge and a state governor should be one of mutual respect. Not that the chief judge will have to go cap in hand to the executive and queue up outside his or her office, waiting to see the governor and to ask for funds to administer. It's been repeatedly said that the judiciary should have its own direct debit from state funds, so that once funds are released, it automatically goes into the judiciary's account without the chief judge having to go to beg for the funds to be released.
Would it help in any way if the offices of the Attorney General in the states become elective and not by appointment?
Well, I'm not so sure that we're ripe for the American system to be electing our attorney generals, because when you appoint, you can appoint somebody who will be a true attorney general in every sense of the word. You can take, for example, when Professor Yemi Onibanjo was Attorney General of Lagos State. He was outstanding.
But there are few cases like that.
Yes, there are few cases like that, but we've been electing our governors, been electing our presidents. Are we any better for it?
That's politics out and out. But this
once people start to run for office, it becomes politics. Then it will not necessarily be that it's the best candidate who wins, but perhaps, as we see now, the richest, the one who has a godfather to bankroll him. And
what if it's within the legal profession then?
Even if it's within the legal profession, you will still see people, interlopers, trying to, because they know that, okay, if I get my preferred candidate in as the Attorney General, then he will do my bidding. So it will still be the same thing. And then perhaps I don't know, maybe it would even be worse off.